Now, proceeding on with the pumpkin, we're working on the grill area. So I designed this piece of plastic to be a base for something to screw on, and then I've made a headlight bezel which takes the original lens with it just cleaned up and all that, and we've got something for a side light indicator thing, but I've made it bigger. So knocked out a couple of bits I've CAD. So I'm just printing the second headlight, and it just screws in. It just flexes and fits just enough. So it just takes a couple of screws to get it into place. I didn't bother doing 3, there's no point. Holds on well enough with 2 to what I require. I think doing it this way makes it easier to print, because you can print it nice and flat with the lugs pointing upwards. Uses a lot less plastic, and like I said, we've got one headlight on. Once I've got the second one fitted, then I can go on designing a grille section for the middle, which will extend above here, but it's very hard to fill in there, so it's easier just to add material afterwards. Or even not, just have a gap, it'll be in that area. It'll be close, but we'll see. It's what I like the look of, but with this option I can always print these parts again. If I'm not happy, make another grill. But no, it's coming along, so I'm just waiting for the second one to finish, and then back to designing. Now, in this video we're going back to working on the engine. Like I said, it's quite a nice looking engine. I've got a picture, there we go. I'm happy with it in some ways, but it's this piece here. So I found a piece off another engine print. I've just printed off, that's why you can hear the printer running. And I'm going to put that on there and see if I can add other stuff to it. That's what I'm working on, just to make it look a bit more like an engine. So let's get that cleaned up and on and see what else I can find, and then we can look at fitting it into the back of the pumpkin shell. There we go. It just changes the plainness of that end, and I'm not too fussed about putting anything on now, because remember it's going to be sitting slightly below. So let's proceed on, see how much I've got to cut away and how to get it to fit in, because it has got to fit in here about there. So I've got to recut the base a bit to suit and make up something, make it look nice, and it's got to be low enough in here so I can actually get my fingers still into my body pins. But it's going to be some careful cutting, because I don't want to go too mad with that part. There we go. The engine bay bit's made. I've got it making a plate up which just started printing to weld underneath, or super glue on will probably be better. I've made a shim which I've just welded in a bit. That will give it just a little bit extra strength. Where we've removed plastic, we're adding just a little bit of plastic, and so I've just got to bolt that on once that's done, and then we'll see how to mount the engine in the back onto the plate. There we go, the engine's in, and you can see where I just added that thing I found to print on the front. It just takes away from that flat front look. Worked perfectly. The way it fits in there otherwise I'm quite happy with. So that's the engine complete. So just got to think what's left to do.